I have now photographed all 40 pages of the Rodney's manual, and I'm going to run them through here for you. And each page is only going to last about a second and a half. The whole thing's going to run probably a minute. If there's anything that you want to, pause and take a good look at, be ready to click on the pause button. And it should stop for you at that point. Well, you know how it works. Anyway, here we go. I think we have probably gone about as far as we can go now with the Rodney without starting to build it. I've got all the little packages of sprues back in their little individual boxes, and yeah. In all likelihood, I won't be opening this box now until we actually start the build, unless somebody should come over and want to see it, which isn't too likely. So there we are. Sort of back to where we started the day before yesterday. Yeah. It is a bit of a dreary day here in Winnipeg on this 4th of July. But you know they can't all be bright and sunny. If we don't get any rain, the dandelions aren't going to grow. Now, when we measured the Bismarck a few weeks ago, or a few days ago, I guess, we had concluded that it was about 11.5 inches from the bottom of the keel to the top of the mast, and it looks like we've got 47 inches here. And if we want to have the ship sort of evenly placed, like I don't want the one that's going to go on the bottom just sitting on the shelf here. I want it up just a little bit, so I want to try and have them spaced. So the bottom would want to be here, number 2 would be here, and number 3 would be here. So that when a person is standing and looking at it, you're kind of looking down a little bit on it, onto the deck. You wouldn't want it so that the mast is almost at the top here, because you're not going to be able to look down on the detail on the deck. So I do want whichever one is going to be up at the top to be down enough so that a person stands and looks at it like this. And then the others, you could sort of step back and look at them. So what I'm thinking is, like if there was like a couple of dowels coming out from the back, like this, and then down at the bottom, but maybe 3-4 inches off the bottom. Maybe 3 inches would be enough. Something like that. Now, I don't have any dowels that are appropriate, but I've got I've got some square stuff, like I can cut something like this, like half inch square, and that could be used. And I actually do have a machine that will drill a square hole. Probably, I think I have a bit that's exactly that size, come to think of it. Yeah, so we'll go back down to the workshop and try and figure something out here. I guess when I used the suction cups on this, I left a bit of a soap scum mark right here. Well, we got it. Now, what do I want to tell you about? One of the viewers mentioned that it might be a good idea to put LED light strips somewhere inside the case that we're making upstairs. And the idea is good. So let me sit down. Yeah, that idea is really good. Except that I've already spent way too much money already on this case. I don't want to be spending any more. So thanks for the idea, but I'm not going to do it. Another idea I had was I was going to take the Titanic and Lusitania out of this case and maybe set them on the lower shelf and the case upstairs. I thought that idea was kind of good. But I'm thinking now that maybe what I'm going to do is I want to leave my workshop looking the way it is. So when I come down here with a cup of coffee and I'm looking around and I'm reminiscing and I'm remembering all the stuff that I did, everything looks the same. If the ships are gone, that's going to be quite a change, because they've been sitting in that case probably right there for several years now. And before they were there, they were back maybe only about 6 or 8 feet further down on the other side of the bandsaws. But they've been down here in my workshop, part of the workshop, for many years. So it's sort of it wouldn't be like coming home if I came down to the workshop and they were gone, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to just leave them here. Not going to take them upstairs now. Anyway, about drilling square holes. Well, the machine that drills those square holes, you can't see it, it's right there. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, Tennessee Jim. Yeah. Whenever me and Tennessee Jim want to have a really good laugh, what we do is we go into our workshop and we look at our hollow chisel mortiser. It's one of those machines that a workshop guy thinks he is going to use every day until you get it. Then you realize, well, that's not going to happen. And it makes square holes. I'm not going to be able to show you today yet how it works, but tomorrow I'll bring the camera in, and if I drill a square hole, we'll look at it nice and close. I'm sure that most of you already know how it works. Right, Jim? It works maybe once a year. Not that it doesn't work, it's just that that's about the only time you use it, maybe once a year. In fact, I can't remember the last time I used this. I think I used it on the big clock project, but I'm not even sure. Anyway, yeah, it uses a bit like this. It's probably getting out of focus here, but there's a better picture of it. Anyway, we'll look at it nice and close later. You put the bit in, and then you pull the lever down and it goes into the wood. It won't be a tutorial. And it makes a mortise in the wood. So you'll end up with a square hole, something like this, and then you'll make a tenon on the other piece that you want to put in there, and you'll use this thing here. It's a tenon jig, goes on the table saw. Well, it's lots of fun. It really is. It's a lot of fun. I just don't feel like it. Anyway, this is what we're going to use to make our square holes tomorrow. And I'm going to have to scrounge around and try and find something that I can cut, because anyway, I'm starting to give you details that you don't need to know here, and you won't know what I'm talking about. Starting to think out loud. Now, before I got this machine, I was thinking to myself, if I only had one of those, all my joints would be nice, strong mortise and tenon. All my woodworking friends will be so impressed with the joinery I'm going to be doing. Yeah, right. Thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.